If you've ever watched hiking videos online, it can honestly look pretty easy. You see people hiking through insane mountain ranges with cinematic drone shots, lightweight gear setups, perfect campsites, and sunsets that look unreal. And don't get me wrong, backpacking really can be incredible, but social media usually only shows the best parts. What you don't always see are the difficult moments that happen before, during, and after the most incredible moments. You don't see exhaustion, the bad weather, the soreness, the bugs, the planning mistakes, or the moments where people are seriously questioning why they're even out there. And I think that creates a lot of unrealistic expectations for a lot of beginner hikers. Some people try backpacking for the first time, expecting a relaxing outdoor vacation, and instead they end up cold, tired, hungry, uncomfortable, and carrying a heavy backpack uphill for hours. So in this video, I want to talk about why backpacking is harder than it looks online, the parts people don't always show, and why those difficult moments are part of what makes backpacking so rewardable in the first place. Backpacking videos cut out most of the hard parts. The first thing people need to realize is that backpacking videos are heavily edited. A 3-day or a 5-day hiking trip might get turned into a 15-minute video, and naturally, creators are going to include the most beautiful and incredible moments. They're not going to spend 5 minutes showing themselves struggling uphill, exhausted. Most videos cut out long, boring sections of the trail, painful climbs, sweat, gear problems, bad sleep, or hours of them hiking in terrible weather. And honestly, that makes sense. People want entertaining videos. But it also creates this idea that backpacking is constantly peaceful and cinematic, when in reality, a lot of it is physically difficult. Sometimes you hike for hours without a view. Sometimes your feet hurt. Sometimes you're soaked from rain. Sometimes you're freezing at camp, wondering why you thought sleeping outside sounded like fun. That stuff is all real. The backpack is heavier than most people expect. One of the biggest shocks for beginner hikers is how much a backpack actually weighs after you've been carrying it uphill for hours. Online, people throw around numbers like 20-pound base weight, ultralight setup, super lightweight loadout. But when you're actually carrying food, gear, water, layers, and supplies uphill for hours, even lighter setups can feel difficult. Even strong people underestimate how exhausting it can actually be. And beginners often compare themselves to experienced backpackers without even realizing that those experienced backpackers have built up endurance over the years. Some thru hikers hike thousands of miles every year. So when you casually watch someone climb mountains on YouTube, you're seeing the results of a ton of experience and conditioning. Your first trip probably won't feel effortless, and honestly, it's not supposed to. Backpacking pushes your body in ways normal life usually doesn't. Your legs get sore, your shoulders get sore, your feet sometimes get destroyed, and recovery after trips can take days, and that's all completely normal. Weather changes everything. Weather is another thing that social media usually makes look way easier than it actually is. Online, people film during the best moments. Sunny skies, perfect sunsets, calm mornings. But weather in the outdoors changes incredibly fast. Rain can completely change your mood on trail. Cool temperatures feel way worse after hiking all day. Wind can make camp miserable, and storms can honestly become dangerous. One thing beginners don't usually realize is how difficult little tasks can become in bad weather. Setting up camp in rain feels way harder. Cooking feels way harder. Packing wet gear sucks. Sleeping in the cold is miserable. And sometimes conditions don't match the forecast at all. That's why experienced backpackers pay so much attention to layering and weather planning, because nature does not care about your content plans. Sleeping outside isn't always comfortable. This is another reality people don't talk about much. Sleeping outside can be difficult, especially for beginners. At home, people are used to beds, pillows, climate control, quiet rooms. Outside, you might deal with wind, cold, rain, uneven ground, animals moving nearby, or random noises all night. And even with good gear, a lot of people still don't sleep well out on trail. And that's completely normal too. Your body isn't used to it yet. A bad night of sleep also affects everything the next day. You hike slower, you get more irritated. Everything feels harder physically. Some beginners expect backpacking to feel comfortable immediately. But honestly, backpacking is learning how to stay comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Bugs can be absolutely miserable. Social media rarely shows how annoying bugs can actually be. Mosquitoes alone can completely change how your trip goes. There are places where bugs are so bad that you can't even stop without getting swarmed. And then there are ticks, gnats, flies, ants. Sometimes bugs are just part of the experience. That's why things like bug spray, proper shelter, and campsite selection matter so much. Because once bugs start ruining your sleep or constantly biting you while you're hiking, your entire mood changes fast. Backpacking takes more planning than people think. Online, it sometimes looks like people just chuck some gear into the pack and head into the mountains. But real backpacking usually takes a lot more planning. You need to think about weather, trail conditions, water sources, food, permits, navigation, gear, mileage, emergency plans, and beginners often underestimate how much planning there actually is. Bad planning can quickly ruin your trip. For example, running out of water, choosing unrealistic mileage, forgetting important gear, or not understanding weather conditions. Experienced backpackers make things look smooth because they've learned systems over time. Most successful trips happen because of good preparation beforehand. Social media creates unrealistic expectations. I think one of the biggest problems is that social media often turns backpacking into an aesthetic, instead of just showing the full reality. People see perfect campsites, expensive ultralight gear, beautiful shots, clean setups, but they don't see blisters, sweat, exhaustion, cold mornings, bad weather, and beginners usually carry more gear than they actually need. That's because people naturally pack out of fear. What if I need this? What if something happens? What if the weather changes? So they bring extra everything. Extra clothes, extra food, extra gear, random items they'll never even use. And after a few miles, that weight becomes brutal. A heavy backpack changes the entire experience. You move slower, you get tired faster, your shoulders hurt, your feet hurt, and mentally it becomes way harder. That's why experienced backpackers obsess over pack weight so much. Not because they're trying to look cool online, but because less weight genuinely makes backpacking more enjoyable. Backpacking is way more physical than people realize. Another thing that online doesn't fully capture is how physically demanding backpacking can be. Walking sounds easy, but hiking uphill for hours while carrying weight is completely different, especially at elevation, or the mental struggle that often happens during difficult hikes. And because of that, beginners often feel discouraged when their own trips don't usually turn out how they thought it would. But honestly, messy trips are normal. Some of the best backpacking experience come from overcoming difficult moments. That struggle is part of the experience. The mental side is hard too. A lot of people talk about the physical side of backpacking, but the mental side can be difficult too. Long climbs can mess with your motivation. Bad weather affects your mindset. Being uncomfortable for hours gets mentally exhausting. Sometimes backpacking feels amazing. Oftentimes you're wondering, how much farther do I have to hike? And when you're tired, cold, hungry, or sore, even small problems feel way bigger. That's why backpacking teaches patience and mental toughness so well. You learn how to stay calm, you learn how to adapt, and you learn that discomfort usually passes eventually. But the difficulty is why backpacking feels so rewarding. Honestly, I think this is the most important part. The reason why backpacking feels so rewarding is because it's difficult. If it were easy all the time, reaching a summit wouldn't feel so special. Camping in beautiful places won't feel earned. Pushing through difficult miles wouldn't build confidence. The harder moments make the good moments better. The first view after a brutal climb feels incredible because of all the effort it took to get there. A sunrise after a freezing night feels different. A meal tastes better after hiking all day. Even simple things become more meaningful outside. That's part of why people get addicted to backpacking. It challenges you in ways normal life usually doesn't. So there you go. Backpacking is definitely more difficult than it looks online. It's more physical, more uncomfortable, more unpredictable, and more mentally challenging than a lot of beginners expect. But that doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Honestly, the difficult parts are part of what makes backpacking so memorable in the first place. You don't remember every easy moment. You remember the storms you pushed through, the climbs that tested you, the mistakes you learned from. So if you're new to backpacking, don't compare yourselves to perfectly edited social media videos. Real backpacking is messy sometimes, and that's completely normal. If this helped you, consider liking and subscribing, and drop a comment with your favorite tip, something new you learned, or even what your backpacking background looks like. I'd honestly love to hear your stories and experiences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys out on trail.